A hero's quest to save a kidnapped princess, a journey to distant lands, and a quirky monkey sidekick? No, I'm not talking about Super Mario Brothers. I'm talking about Gamelan Tunas Mekar's upcoming performance, Sendratari Ramayana, a Balinese dance drama, shown one night only on Saturday, May 30th at the Kim Robards Dance Venue in North Denver. I'm your host, Dr. Benjamin Pongtep Cefkin, and this is the podcast for Musics of the World MUS 3050. That was a short clip from a rehearsal for Gamelan Tunas Mekar's upcoming concert. Denver's Gamelan Tunas Mekar is a volunteer-run arts ensemble that performs music and dance from the Indonesian island of Bali. Their May 30th concert will present the Sendratari Ramayana, a Balinese retelling of the Hindu epic poem, the Ramayana. I caught up with some ensemble members backstage at another performance to pick their brains about their upcoming show. Okay, so I'm here with Pak Made Lasmawan and Ibu Kitut Marni, our music and dance directors. And I'm just asking a little bit about the Sendratari Ramayana concert on May 30th. So can I ask you, what are you most excited for the concert?
The most excited is gonna be the first Ramayana performance. We call Ramayana ballet. Ramayana in Bali we call Ramayana ballet. Gonna be the first one complete in happen in Colorado, in Denver. Yeah.
And what are you excited for the concert?
I think gonna be the same, but like the first time, with Tunas Mekar play, and also also excited for me. Have like a lot of dancer, so that's what I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm curious, Aji, what are you most looking forward to for the upcoming concert?
I am looking forward to showcasing what the whole group has worked towards and worked really hard for, and just sharing our culture with the community.
Russ, what are you most looking forward to for this upcoming concert?
Hello, good question, Ben. I'm looking forward to the moment where we finally get all the dancers together on stage and we can feel that great energy that happens whenever we all perform together. It's a very special thing that feels magical in the moment.
So Liz, can you tell us what you're most excited for this concert?
I'm really excited for everyone to come together to do this with the vocalists and the dancers and our visiting guest artists and all of the musicians.
Cool. So Kendall, what are you most looking forward to for this concert?
I'm looking forward to seeing the dance come together with the music for the first time. That's always very exciting.
Liesl, could you tell me what you're most excited for the concert?
I am most excited to be working with so many professional dancers that I've never gotten to work with before, and a couple GTM members that I haven't gotten to see perform these really cool parts and play these characters that, and see those come to life. Because it's fun as an instrumentalist to feed off of their energy.
I'm curious, Josefina, what are you most looking forward to for that concert?
Oh, it's so exciting. We're going to be so many musicians on the stage, so many dancers. I have never been with so many dancers in the stage. I'm so excited. And singers. Then I think it's going to be a fantastic story.
Yeah. So, Pranav, what are you most looking forward to for that concert?
Well, it's my first actual gig part of GTM, so I'm looking forward to being part of it, playing the music. The music sounds absolutely wonderful, and everyone should be there. I'm just saying.
Cool. So I'm here with Maddie, and I was just curious, Maddie, what are you most looking forward to for this upcoming concert?
Well, this is my first ever gig with Tunas Mekar, and so my family is all flying out, and they're gonna get to see the Ramayana, which is super exciting. Yeah, and just the fact that it's such a monumental work that we're playing. I've never played anything this long or this complicated, so it's just super fun.
As mentioned by many of the ensemble members, the May 30th show, as a form of holistic performance, includes the synthesis of a variety of moving parts. Sendratari is an Indonesian term for dance dramas, a genre of theatric performance of mythology or folklore told through dance, which developed as a common form of Southeast Asian art performance in the 19th and 20th centuries. Gamelan Tunas Mekar's show features music played on the Balinese Gamelan Samarindana ensemble with a vocal chorus and a dalam narrator who will accompany a troupe of dancers presenting a truncated version of the Ramayana story. Overall, about 50 performers will be involved. The Ramayana story is attributed to the semi-mythic Indian poet Valmiki, and its text has circulated throughout South and Southeast Asia for over 2,500 years. So for listeners who might be unfamiliar or need a little bit of a refresher, the Ramayana, which translates to Rama's War, recounts the story of Prince Rama of the ancient Indian city of Ayodhya and his efforts to rescue his wife, Princess Sita, from the clutches of the Rakshasa king Ravana, who kidnaps her to his palace in the kingdom of Lanka. Rakshasa are a mythological race of ogre-like creatures from Hindu mythology, somewhat akin to like the Titans in Greek mythology. So not exactly evil, kind of more human-like, but more prone to violence and more impulsive, maybe. Okay. So Rama, on his way to rescue his wife, is aided by a number of allies, including his younger stepbrother Lakshmana, Jatayu, the demigod king of the vultures, and Hanuman, the demigod general of the Vanara, a race of humanoid monkeys. As an important text within Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, the Ramayana is well known and beloved by millions of people in South and Southeast Asia, but is, in comparison, perhaps relatively unknown in Denver, where Gamelan Tunas Mekar is based. As a Thai traditional artist myself, I grew up seeing the characters and storylines of the Ramayana reflected in my culture's art, architecture, and language. As an example, the former capital of Thailand, Ayutthaya, is named after Prince Rama's royal city of Ayodhya. And the kings of Thailand's current Chakri dynasty are all referred to by the moniker Rama, followed by their dynastic reign order, with the current king being King Rama X. So the epic poem of the Ramayana serves as a similar source for cultural reference for the members of the Balinese American family who serve as Tunas Mekar's artists in residence, and the ensemble's one Indian American member, along with some other dancers who were not interviewed for this. But the majority of ensemble members, on the other hand, did not grow up with the tale. A handful have become closely acquainted with the story through many years of study of Balinese culture, but most have only been introduced to the story since the ensemble began learning the concert repertoire in October of last year. Whether one is revisiting its beloved storyline or discovering it for the first time, an examination of the Ramayana's characters offers an insightful look into the motivations and obligations behind the various social relationships we experience in our own lives. The characters model ideal relationships between a husband and wife, older and younger siblings, father and son, a ruler and a subject, etc. And they teach the lesson of the consequences of breaking the social contracts inherent to these relationships. I was really interested in getting ensemble members' thoughts about the story's characters, right? Considering that there's a large range of introduction to the story. Right? I asked them to tell me who their favorite character was and why. Here's what our musical director, Ade, had to say. So Ade, who was your favorite character in the Ramayana and why?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually have not thought about this. I think I've always... Okay, so I'm going to do two answers. My first one is just one that I've honestly idolized since I was little because I was told to dance this character. But the first one is Hanuman because he kind of plays like the hero in the story, and kind of plays as like this hero that can destroy the enemy's territory. So that was always, and honestly the dancers looked cool, like how they fly around. But right now I think just kind of like growing up and then learning the story. This is the first time I've like learned the Ramayana story. I think I'd have to go with Sita, just the I mean, the journey. It's called Ramayana, but I can see that this story has really revolved around Sita and kind of her journey throughout the Ramayana, even though it's called Ramayana. So I think that's really cool to have like the female centered on that. Yeah.
Artist in resident Pak Made, another Balinese ensemble member, explains a bit more of Hanuman's unique appeal.
I always like Hanuman because excited and jumping around, and also the character is very powerful, and also the philosophy is Hanuman has a magic fingernail, so basically he can do the medicine from the fingernail, and he can attack with the fingernail, and he can bring in the story he can take the mountain with the fingernail.
Many others, similarly to Ade and Pak Made, chose Hanuman, the monkey general, as their favorite, who is often depicted as a lovable trickster in Southeast Asian iterations. So Aji, who is your favorite character in the Ramayana and why?
I would have to say Hanuman, because he's the monkey general, and I've always, I would say, gravitated towards his character.
It might be predictable, but my favorite character is Hanuman because I really like the monkey general. I like the fighting. I like that he's energetic and athletic and bouncing around.
I like Hanuman. He's not a good role model, but he's just such an interesting character. And I think that all the dance parts are so silly and fun, and the music that goes along with it is some of the most interesting parts, I think.
Others also chose the vulture Jatayu, who is a minor character in the original story, but gets a lively solo portion in this Balinese stage version.
I like the Jatayu section. It's pretty exciting, and his whole story arc, it's pretty engaging, and I really like how the music reflects that in the highs and the lows, and fast parts and slow parts. It's very beautiful.
He gives his last full measure of devotion. Yeah, and he's a very heroic and fighting figure.
There were a couple of outlying opinions as well.
My favorite character has to be Ravana because he's an interesting villain. He's got 10 heads, and he's got an interesting story arc as well. So I think he's the most interesting character for sure.
My favorite character is Raksasa.
And why is that?
I want what you call it, like I really like to see the movement, they like a funny movement, and also they have they also really like the fighting, fighting with Rahwana, Raksasa. Yeah, I really like that. It's fun.
Very fun
and
yeah.
funny.
Rihanna.
I guess I have a favorite character group, and it's the Rakshasa, because they're just kind of silly, to be honest. I think they're great.
How about you, Adriana?
One of my favorite characters is Sita because despite it all, she is fighting.
And how about you, Aaron?
I'm a big Lakshmana fan. I really just like how he's there to hold it down for his bro. And also I really am fond of the dancer who plays Lakshmana.
So for context, Aaron is dating one of the dancer who is playing the role of Lakshmana. So finally, we talked about some things audiences should listen for in the music at the show.
I guess I would say, especially if you're not familiar with gamelan music, try and listen for repeated patterns throughout the piece because a lot of themes return, and then that kind of goes along with the story that's happening. When characters come back, you kind of get a sense of their return through the music.
I think always pay attention to the gong so you know where you are, and watch for the different characters to come in and out and how the music changes with them.
Listen for the recurring musical motifs that appear with each character. Each character of the Ramayana kind of has their own musical theme or their own section that represents kind of their part of the story. So try to pay attention to when these themes come back, when you recognize the music and who's on stage at that point in time.
I think some really cool things is that we have some evil or not great characters and some definitely good characters. And listen to the music and see if you can tell the difference in the melodies when it's a good character versus a bad character.
I think one of the really cool parts to me is how the instrumentalists feed off of what the dancers are doing. If you think about it like in an animated show, for example, there's a lot of music that goes into animation where if they are doing an action or they fall over, like there's something in the music that accents that. And it's really similar here where we have ensembles that accent what the characters are doing and the actions that are happening on stage.
Listening for. Well, because I'm teaching this piece, I have so many things that they can listen for. But for mine is the angsal. So for just to define what angsal is, for those who have never learned or played Balinese gamelan, is essentially the musical break or rhythm that can happen, elaboration that happens when a dancer is doing something. So essentially the music responds to the dance, and then we play an angsal. So if Jatayu is getting stabbed, or if Sita is pointing at Lakshmana, we do an angsal specifically for that, and those make that scene a little bit more exciting. So that's what you should listen for.
In this clip from the battle between Jatayu and Ravana, you'll hear 3 angsals that cue a certain movement to the dancer, in this case me. So the first cue, cues the dancers to start walking. Right? And the second cue, which sounds like that's an attack cue. And then the third, ding, 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 is the hand-to-hand struggle and then a stab. Right. Okay, so Tunas Mekar's May 30th concert will also include a world premiere performance of a new composition yet to be named by our musical director, Imade Adi Tankas Wijaya, or Ade, and as well as lobby concessions and a silent auction. You can find tickets at our website at tunasmekar.org. Okay, we'll close out with a short sneak peek clip of Ade's new composition here.